These two questions all of you have to answer at the end of this class. These two questions I have already given. The frequency distribution is a tabular summary of data showing that, and the sum of relative frequency of all classes will always be equal, and you can submit it here. And 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 the third important things I ask from everyone, that at the end of this unit 2 class today, write a reflection of 100 words, whatever things you learned. This time I'm just giving you one more option, that write the reflection. Instead of writing the reflection, you can also, if you don't want to write, you can prepare a video clips and upload in this Padlet whatever you have learned, and that video clips where you explain whatever you learned from today, that you have to explain here. So this is the roadmap of today's class. I have already presented you before starting the discussion. The agenda is clear. Our agenda of today is to learn unit to organizing and visualizing the very data, and then do the two questions and write the reflection. That is the things we are looking for, and for that purpose I shared you this Padlet platform. Coming to the chapter, and I think all of you can see this chapter now. Your subject is statistics, and you are going to learn organizing and visualizing the variables. All of you know how many types of variables are there. Any one of you can tell me the type of variables. If I will ask from you, you will say the variables are of two types. Is of two type. One is
Two
categorical variable,
category
and other one is called numerical
numerical.
variables. I'm writing on the right part.
Numerical
Am I right? Am I correct to all of
right.
you? Any type of data
Yes,
which is in the form of
Yes, sir.
text, you can, if any type of data which is in the form of qualitative or in the form of text, that is called categorical variables. So qualitative variables are categorical in nature. Any type of data which is in the form of numbers, that is called numerical variables. And if the data which is coming from the countings, 1 2 3 4 5 6, how many car you have, 5 cars, you cannot say I have 5.5 cars. So any type of data which is coming from the countings, and that type of numerical variables, you call it as a discrete
discrete.
numerical variables. And any type of data which is emerging out from the measurement, how many what is your height, 181.5 meter, how many liter of milk you have, you can say that is 1.5 liter of milk I have. So this is a continuous numerical variables. So generally you will come across with two type of data, categorical variable and numerical variables. Once you have a data set, and if you see the data and you think that this data is a categorical variable, in that case how you have to organize the data and how you have to visualize the data are represented in the two forms. Organizing the data means representing in the form of tables, and visualizing the data, representing the data in the form of charts. So to first things you will learn today in the unit 2 is to construct the tables and charts for the categorical data. This is the first learning of the today. Second thing you will learn to construct the tables and chart for the numerical data. If your data set is numerical in nature, this one we have to apply. If the data set is categorical in nature, this one you have to apply. Am I clear? And then if the time will permit, we will talk about the organizing and analyzing of many variables. Otherwise, it is given on the PowerPoint, which I will share to you. And then you can read the SLM in detail, and then we will do the Excel exercise. This is all about the things which we are going to cover. Categorical data means the data in the form of text. You can find two type of categorical variables. Either you have a one column of categorical variables, or you have a 2 column of categorical variables. For example, if I will ask you that which soft drinks you prefer, so maybe you can write Coke, Pepsi, and how many in a week, how many Pepsi or pepper or fruity. So drinks are names are 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So this is a type of data wherein in a week you might have purchased 5 Cokes, 10 Pepsi, 20 pepper, and 30 fruity. So these Coke, Pepsi, pepper, and fruity are the is there in one column, so one categorical variables, and that you can represent with the help of summary table, right? So if you have a one categorical variable data, you have to use summary table to represent it. If you have two categorical data, means suppose if you have, say for example, you have been to ask if you are working in a MRF tire company, right? And you wanted to know whether the people are aware about MRF tire or not. So you have asked a question: are you aware about MRF tire? Are you unaware about MRF tire? Unaware about MRF tire? And then you ask from male participant also and female participant also. So suppose 20 male participant told they are aware about MRF, 30 told they are aware about MRF female, and unaware 10 male told, and 40 female told they are unaware about MRF tire. So this is another form of representing this data, and in the form of table. And here you have two categories: male and female is one category, aware and unaware is another category. So two categorical variable is this. So you are representing, you have to show this data in the form of contingency table, and this table which we can see here, this table is called contingency table. So how you can represent the categorical variable? Once one categorical variable is there, the representation is, you have to represent with the help of summary table. If two categorical variables are there, you have to represent with the help of contingency table. So this is the way how we can prepare the summary table. Suppose a banking preference is there. If you ask from your organization, uh, how many employees are preferring ATM, how many employees are preferring automatic tailoring machine and internet. So the percentage you have written in this form of table, this representation is called summary table. And the way I have shown you that male, female, aware, unaware, similarly you have the two categories. What are the different type of amounts are there? Small, medium, and large amounts. And how many errors are there? No error and error are two categories are there: error category and amount category. And we have represented in, this is the way we have represented it, and this is called a contingency table. So two categorical data is represented in the form of contingency table. How the contingency table looks like, that you can see from this PowerPoint slide. Am I with you, friends? Now this is all about how to organize the categorical variables. Categorical variables are generally of two types: one categorical variable and two categorical variable. In case of one categorical variable, you use the summary table. In case of two categorical variable, you have to use the contingency table. Now the second type of variable, and which is to be organized in the form of table, is called numerical data. Numerical data, once you have a numerical data, either it is in a discrete form or it is in continuous form, we are using a most commonly used table or frequency distribution table. Either we have to use the frequency distribution table or cumulative distribution table. How to make frequency distribution table, how to make the cumulative distribution table, that I will explain you right now. Here is the way how we can example. Let us take how we can. This is a example I am taking. A manufacturer of a insulation, 20 sample sizes there, and their temperature is noted down here. Now in this case we have to find the range, Range means the highest value in this data set. To make, how we have to make the frequency distribution table? Find out the highest value in this data set. Highest value in this data set is 58, and the lowest value in this data set is, I think it is 12. Am I clear? And then the formula for the range is highest value minus lowest value. So we calculated 58 minus 12. So we got 46. Generally, if your data set is large, more than 100, how many class we have to make? 10 class, right? If the data set is small, we have to make 5 class. So here we have a small data set. This is a small data set of 20 sample size. So I have to go with a 5 classes. Am I clear to all of you? And we have to calculate the class interval. The formula for calculating the class interval is range. We have already got the range. Range is 46 here. So range divided by class. So range is 46. You divide it by class, 5 class, because we have a small data set. Am I with you? Can you hear me? Hello, any one of you please respond.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes,
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
understood, no? So I can make the classes. I have already made a class because the 12 we have made 5. We have made these 5 classes here, and 10 to 20 class, 20 to 30 class, 30 to 40 class, 40 to 50 class, and 50 to 60 class. And then we have to compute the midpoints of the class. 10 plus 20 divided by 2, you got 15. 20 plus 30 divided by 2, you got 25. This is the midpoint we have already got. Count the observation assigned between. So the first class, which is 10 to 20 class, will carry the number 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, until 19, right? 10 to 19 will come into the first class, 10 and 20 will come into the second class, 20 to 29 will go into the second class, and in the third class, 30 to 39 will come. In the fourth class, 40 to 49 will come, and in the last class, 50 to 59 will come. So this is all about how we have to count, then count the observation and assign it into the classes. Once we have counted it, so we have, if you will count it, you can count in the observation in this column like this. Class, you have to count it here. Write the class 10 to 20. You can see 10 to 20 class, 20 to 30 class, 30 to 40 class, and 40 to 50 class. Here you can write 10 to 20 class, 20 to 30 class, 30 to 40 class, 40 to 50 class, and 50 to 60 class. That you have to write it in this column. Then you have to count the frequency. 12 will go into which class? I am just going to count here. First I will write the frequency. Frequency I will count by numbers, and then I will write here the number frequency. So 12 will go into this class, 13 will come into this class, 17 will come into this class, 21 will come into this class, 24 will go into which class? This class. 24 will come into this class, 26 will come into this class, 27 will also come into this class, and 27 again will come into this class, 30 will go into this class, 32 will go into this class, and 35 will come into this class, 37 will come into this class, and 38 will come into this class, 41 will come into this class, 43 will come into this class, 44 will come into this class, 46 will come into this class, and finally 53 and 58 will come into this class. So we have 3, 6, 5, 4, and 2, and if you add it, it is 20. Am I clear to all of you? Understood? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now we have to
Yes,
find
sir.
out Now we have to find out the relative frequency, pertinent relative
Sir,
frequency.
expand.
Yes, any doubt? Hello. Now we have
No,
to
sir.
find now we have to find out the relative frequency. You just note down the formula for relative frequency. The relative frequency is represented by a symbol RF, and relative frequency is the frequency divided by total sample size. What is the total sample size here? Who will say? What is the total sample size? Total sample size is 20. So what is the relative frequency of the first class? Can you tell me, anybody or anybody? Relative frequency of the first class is 3 divided by 20. So how much it will come? 1.15. Am I right?
Okay, sir.
Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Similarly,
Yes,
all
sir.
of you please find out the relative frequency of the second class, relative frequency of the third class, relative frequency of the fourth class. Relative frequency of the second class is 6 by 20. All of you please note down, that is 0.30. All of you do it. Relative frequency of the 30 to 40 class is 5 by 20. Am I right? 0.25. Relative frequency is 4 by 20. All of you please calculate it. 2 by 20. This is 0.10. And this is your how much? Point. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
And now you add it. So if you add all, so relative frequency have to be always. Yes.
Why 20?
Where is 20? Because the formula for relative frequency is frequency divided by total sample size. And what is your total sample size? 20. Am I right? So frequency of the pertinent class divided by total sample size is called relative frequency. And relative frequency always equal to, if you will add the total relative frequency, total of all the relative frequency have to be equal to 1. Am I clear? If you add all these, it is equal to 1. Relative frequency is the weightage out of 1. What is the weightage of 10 to 20 class in this whole data set? What is the weightage of 10 to 20 class in this whole data set? Out of 1, it is 0.15. And percentage you can calculate. Percentage is equal to relative frequency multiplied by 100. If you multiply 0.15 into 100, you will get how much? 15%. So what is the weightage of 10 to 20 class in this data set? 15% people in this group, 15% people in this group are having this data set is pertaining to which one? Manufacturing temperature. 15% 15% items in this sample is having the temperature between 10 to 20. Am I clear? That we can say like this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Similarly, you can find out the percentage of, you just multiply the relative frequency by 100, you will get 30%, 25%, 20%, and 10%. Am I clear? So this is this table. What is the name of this table? What is the name of this table?
Ordered array.
This is called percentage frequency distribution table, which is written here. Why you have prepared this percentage frequency distribution table? Because your data, this data, what you can see here, this data is numerical data. Am I clear? And is it a continuous data or discrete data? Who will give the right answer? Is this data set is a continuous or numerical? Sorry, continuous or discrete?
Discrete.
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 So those who have told discrete, they are wrong. Those who told continuous, they are correct. Because this data is coming from the measurement. If you refer the previous one, the manufacturer of the installation randomly selected 20 winter day and recorded the daily temperature. So you are recording the daily temperature. Is it a measurement or counting? Is it a measurement or counting?
It's measurement.
Measurement.
So measurement is a
Continuous.
continuous measurement. Am I clear? Those who are having the confusion
Yes.
about whether it is discrete or continuous, you have to be very clear. This data is a continuous in nature because this data emerged by measurement, not by counting. So because this data is numerical in nature and it is continuous in nature, that's why we made the frequency distribution table. Am I clear to all of you? Now you can make the frequency distribution table, and in this frequency distribution table, you can calculate the less than cumulative frequency and more than cumulative frequency also. So how we can make the less than cumulative frequency and more than cumulative frequency, that I will explain you when we will do an Excel exercise right now after completing this discussion. But cumulative frequency is, suppose if I want to find out the cumulative frequency of this data set, let us see what is the cumulative frequency of this data set I'm trying to find. Cumulative frequency, I'm adding one more column here, and I'm trying to find out the cumulative frequency of this data set. I'm just
Sir, over here, why have we taken the data point of 30 between 30 to 40 and not 20 to 30?
1 minute. Data point 10 to 20 I have taken, right?
So the
And-
value 30 has been placed between 30 and 40, not between 20 and 30.
Yes, because as per the standard practice of statistics, the 10 to 20 class will carry the lowest value and one below the highest value. One below the highest value is 19. So in this case, we in the first class you are taking 10 to 19, not 20, because 20 will go, the lowest value always go into the that class. So here 20 is the highest value, and in the second class 20 is the lowest value. So 20 will go into the second class instead of first class. So it is a standard practice in statistics that if your class is 20 to 30, you have to carry the numbers, you have to take the count up to 29. No, you don't take the 30. 30 will go into the next class. This is a standard practice of statistics. Any doubt? Am I with you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Now coming to the cumulative frequency. How to count the cumulative frequency? Basically, cumulative frequency, you have to count two type of cumulative frequency. You have to count less than cumulative frequency and more than cumulative frequency. Am I right? More than cumulative frequency. I am taking the first class. Less than. How many participate? How many temperatures are less than 20? That is the beauty of learning less than cumulative frequency. How many temperatures value is less than 20? Who will give the answer?
3.
3.
only.
And how many temperatures are less than 30? 3 I have written here. Right. How many
9.
temperatures are less than 30?
9.
9. You added 3 plus 6. 3, you added 3 and 6. So now this is 3 and 9 is less than cumulative frequency. How many temperatures are less than 40?
40.
So you added 9 plus 5 you have to add. Am I right? 9 is already here and 5 you have to add. So 9 plus 5.
14.
How much is 14? How many temperatures are less than 50?
19.
18.
18. 14 plus 4. 14 of the previous one and 4 between 40 to 50. Because less than 50, so up to 49, it is 4. So 18. This is called less than cumulative frequency.
18.
And last is how many How many temperatures are less than 60?
20.
So 80
20.
plus
20.
20. Now you see this 20 and this 20 both are same. So this is called less than cumulative frequency. Similarly, we can find out the more than cumulative frequency also. You just see, we are going to find out the more than cumulative frequency. How many temperatures are more than 10? 10 or more than 10? How many temperatures are there? 10 or more than 10?
17.
17.
No, no, 10 or more than 10? 20.
20.
Very
20.
20. 20. How many temperatures are 20 or more than 20?
17.
17. Very good. So this you are calculating the more than cumulative. How many temperatures are uh, 30 or more than 30? You are just subtracting. Please tell me.
11.
You are just you subtract 17
11.
minus 17 minus
9.
6. Yes, 6. 17
Six.
minus
9.
17 minus 6. How much is?
11.
11. Very good. How many temperatures are more than 40 or more than 40? So 11
Six.
minus 5.
6.
6.
6.
Very good. And how many temperatures are 50 or more than 50?
2.
2.
2.
You see these two and these two both are same here. Now one of the how to visualize this data. Now what is the midpoint of this class that you have to find? How to find out the midpoint of the class? What is the midpoint of this first class? Midpoint of the class X.
Sorry, 30.
10 plus 20, 10 plus 20. Whenever you find out the midpoint, you have to add the lower value of the lower limit and
15.
upper limit of the class and divide by 2. So it is 15. Very good. It is 25. This is 35. Am I right? And this
35.
is 45. And
Yes,
this is
sir.
55. Just added the lower limit and upper limit and divided by 20, right? And we got this particular figure. Now, if you want to plot a graph, if now you just wanted to visualize this distribution, cumulate the class and the cumulative frequency, you just try to visualize it. I'm just giving you an assignment to all of you. You take along x-axis. I'm just showing you here itself. You take along x-axis. This is your x-axis. You take along x-axis all the value of x. X means midpoints. 15, 25. All of you, please note down this exercise you have to do at your end. 15, 25, 35, 45, and 55. All of you do at your end. I'm just showing you. This is the exercise I'm giving to you. All the midpoint you take along x-axis and cumulative frequency you take it along y-axis. Cumulative frequency you take it along y-axis. What happened? Yes, cumulative frequency you take it along y-axis. Cumulative frequency you take it along y-axis. Here in this direction you take the cumulative frequency along y-axis. Then if you take the less than cumulative frequency means 3, here is a 5, 10, 5, 10, 15, 20 like that. So 3 is the 15 and 3. So 3, 9 like that. If you will get a graph like this, this is your less than cumulative graph. You will get it. And if you will plot the more than cumulative graph, you will get a line like this. And there you will get an intersection point. Both the less than cumulative frequency and more than cumulative frequency will intersect at a particular junction. That particular junction you have to identify and draw a line on x-axis and find out where it is intersecting, and the point where it is intersecting on the x-axis, that point is called central tendency. That is the important assignment I am giving to all of you. Please do it and share it with me on through Padlet. Draw this graph, whatever I am showing to you, and take a photograph of that graph and paste it on the Padlet. That is the assignment I am giving to you. This is the way how a organized cumulative frequency distribution you are visualizing in the form of chart. And from that chart you are calculating the central tendency of your data set that you can show here with the help of this particular diagram. So you learned how to make the frequency distribution of a numerical data. You learned how to convert the frequency distribution into a relative frequency here in this PowerPoint slide. You also learned the formula for calculating the relative frequency is the frequency divided by total sample size. Then from that relative frequency you also learned how to convert it into a percentage, and from that you also learned if you have a frequency distribution and frequency is known to you, you can find out less than cumulative frequency, you can find out more than cumulative frequency, and then you can plot you can visualize this frequency distribution in the form of this chart, wherein midpoints are the class midpoints along x-axis and cumulative frequency along y-axis, and you are showing with the help of this chart, and this chart is called Ogive chart. Please note down, all of you. If you are making this chart, whatever I am saying, wherein your midpoint is along x-axis and cumulative frequency along y-axis, this chart is called Ogive chart, O-G-I-V-E, Ogive chart. I'm going to tell you how to visualize the different type of tables, whether a summary table, whether it is a contingency table or a frequency distribution table. So that I'm going to explain you now. Visualization. First, you see the visualization of categorical data. Categorical data, you have already learned how to make the summary table. If your table is there, categorical data is there, you made the summary table. You can visualize with the help of either a pie chart, bar chart, or Pareto chart. Very important multiple choice question. Summary table can be shown in a graphical form using either bar chart, pie chart, and Pareto diagram. Once you have a contingency table of a categorical variable, you have to show with the help of a side-by-side bar chart. Am I with you, friends? I'm going to show you how the bar charts looks, pie charts looks, and side-by-side pie charts looks, bar chart looks. This is your banking preference. It is a summary table. You can show it on the left-hand side, right-hand side, you can see the bar chart. You can show the summary table like this in the bar chart form. You can show the summary table also in the form of pie chart. You can show also in the form of Pareto chart, which you can see here on the screen. You can, if you have a contingency table wherein you have a more than two categorical variables are there and you made a contingency table, you have to show with the help of a side-by-side bar chart. How the side-by-side bar chart looks like, you can see on this PowerPoint slide, and we will explain you how to make with the help of Excel. In a numerical data, if you have a frequency distribution, the three type of charts are used to visualize the frequency distribution tables. These are histograms, polygon, and Ogive. You can see here histogram is this. If you have a frequency class and frequency distribution, or the relative frequency and percentage is given, you can show with the help of a histogram. Histogram I am showing on the right hand side. This is the way how the histogram looks. You can also show with the help of a polygon. the polygon where the class midpoints are along x-axis and frequencies there along y-axis. And if you have a cumulative frequency, just now before you have already seen how the cumulative frequency and lower class boundary are represented here. And if you are making this chart where lower class boundary is along x-axis and cumulative percentage along y-axis, and whatever the chart you are getting it, that chart is called OGIF chart. So difference between a polygon and OGIF is polygon is a frequency distribution chart, whereas OGIF is a cumulative frequency distribution chart. That is the difference between polygon and OGIF is concerned. So this is the way how we can visualize the numerical frequency distribution chart. If you have two numerical variables, we are using a scatter plot, and a scatter plot wherein you have two numerical frequencies are there, and that you can say with the scatter dots. Maybe here it is a blue dots. You can show with a blue, red, and yellow different dots of a different volumes. That is the way how we can present the charts. This is all about how we can represent and visualize the charts. Now I'm going to explain you how to make these tables and represent with the visualize it through MS Excel. That's all. Am I with you, friends?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
I am coming to the Excel.
Yes, sir.
All of you, please open the Excel sheet along with me. And first, I am just going to show you, demonstrate you. Here is the Excel chart. I have taken a sample of 50 soft drink purchased by Ram. Can you see, all of you, this chart, this particular Excel sheet? You see Coke, Classic, Pepsi, Diet, all 50 data set is given on the left hand side. This data set is a categorical or numerical, because all the data, Sprite, Dr. Pepper, Pepsi, Diet, all are in the form of text. It is a categorical data. Am I right? So shall we, and is it a two categorical variable is there or one categorical variable is there in this data set?
One category.
One, because you have only one category is there, soft drink, right? Two categories not there, soft drink plus one more, suppose the another things is there, which dish you prefer, another is there category, then the two categories there. In that case, you have to use the contingency table. So here in this case, shall we use contingency table or summary table? We have to use the summary table. Summary table, very good. So you can see here I have just made a summary table. I made a yellow table is there. This yellow table is a summary table. What I did is I have already captured what are the different type of drink names are there, name of the drinks like Coke Classic, Pepsi, Diet Coke, Sprite, and Dr. Pepper is given. Am I right? So all these things I have written here. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Now
Yes,
what
yes,
I am going to do here is, please see all of you, what I am going to do is I have to count, where is that sheet? I have to count the how many Coke Classic have been purchased by Ram, right? So in the second column, I have written number, because summary table I have to make. So number, how I have used a function. Which function I have used? I used a function. All of you please note down, count if function for counting it. And argument is already showing. All of you open your Excel sheet, you can see count if function I used. You take the range and then the criteria. I have just picked up the range. This is our range. I picked it here. Am I right? And once I picked up the range, I have to fix this range, because this range will not change. Data set is fixed. To fixing or making the range as an absolute, what we have to do, we have to prefix with a dollar sign. So I'm just pressing shift dollar before B, shift dollar before 5, shift and 4 button, dollar D, $21, right? And then I'm putting comma, and which things I want to count? I want to count from this range. Which things I want to count? Coke Classic. How many Coke Classic is there? This is the H5 cell name is already there, Coke Classic. And I close the bracket and I press the enter. I have already got 9. All of you can do at your end in Excel sheet. And then you just, because you have already fixed the, yes, any doubt? And then you can just drag it down. You will get the all the things automatically, because your range of the data set is fixed. So H5 in the second column, you see it changed to H6. H6 carry Pepsi. So it counted how many Pepsi is there in that particular data set. $B5, $D, $21. Then automatically once I dragged H7 carry Diet Coke and it is counted. Now, once it is counting is completed, then I have just how many number is there? I used a function total, sum function, and I counted what is the total number is there. I counted it. My summary table is ready. Am I clear? Now this summary table, we have to visualize. So what are the two different methods are there by way of which you can visualize the summary table? You have already learned. Categorical data have to be organized in the form of summary table and visualized either in the form of pie chart or in the form of
Bar chart.
bar chart. So what I am going to do is I am picking this data. I am picking this data here, and I am going to insert button. And in insert button, I picked up a pie, and I click the pie chart. So my pie chart is ready. This is the pie chart. Coke, Pepsi, Diet, everything is ready with us. Am I clear? And we can represent also with the help of this a pie chart pertaining to that. If you want to show another chart, that also is option is there. You can show with the help of recommended chart. If you have, you can represent with the help of histograms. Another chart is also there. You can show with the help of a this chart. This chart is a 3-dimensional bar chart. That also you can show with here, right? So these are the various way how we can represent, and various proper chart styles you can pick depending upon your choice. You can pick n number of chart styles are there. You can pick it. You can select from your choice as per that. But only thing you are knowing that once we have a summary table, and the only two option is there. Either we have to represent with the help of pie chart or a bar chart. You can do it. Now coming to the next important things, and that is a very important things for all of you, and that is if you have the, suppose if you have MRF related data, I have already made it, but I am trying to you have the contingency table. This yellow table, you can see you are already working in MRF, and you ask whether you are aware about MRF tire. You have identified 3 categories of consumers: male consumer, female consumer, and neutral consumer. Those who are not landing into the basket of male or female, there we are putting it a neutral consumer. And I asked, are you aware about MRF tire? So male consumer, 34 male consumer told yes, and 45 told unaware. Intentionally I made a mistake here. Unaware I have written in the wrong spelling mistake, because you can laugh on me, and laughing will make you more understanding. So that's why you can laugh and understand the things. Objective is learning, not the you make laugh and learn. So that's why I tried to write like this. So female 23 and 56, and neutral 1 and 2. This table is a contingency table. Am I right? 2 types
Yes,
of
sir.
categories there, male, female,
Yes.
not aware and unaware. Now you can and contingency table have to be represented by which form? Visualized by which type of chart? Side by side, side by side, side by side.
Bar chart.
Bar chart. So I am just picking it. I am picking this chart. I am picking this value table. Yeah, and I am going to insert. I am picking a chart. Automatically, you see here on the top 2D chart is there. I picked it. You see here. I have already got this chart. This chart where the male blue is showing the aware and orange is showing unaware. In case of female, number 2, blue is showing aware and orange is showing unaware. In the neutral, blue is showing aware and orange is showing unaware. So this chart is called side by side by chart, bar chart. You learned how the contingency table have to be represented. Am I clear to all of you? Now coming to the next one, how to represent the frequency distribution chart. Frequency in case of coming to this particular, this LO table. All of you see this LO table. LO table is a data which is coming from a measurement of a fruity Tetra Pak. Most of you have already used fruity drink. Fruity drink, all of you used. On the top of the fruity Tetra Pak, 160 ml is written. You got a complaint from the different consumers that Tetra Pak is underweight. So what you did is you have taken a 20 fruity Tetra Pak you purchased from the market and open the Tetra Pak, use the beaker and measure the weight of the Tetra Pak. And all the 20 Tetra Pak measurement have been written here in this yellow box. And 156, 164, 158, 161, 160, like that. 20 measurement is there. Is it a numerical data or categorical data? Question to all of you.
Numerical.
Numerical.
Is it a discrete or continuous?
Continuous.
Continuous, because this measurement, this is coming from the measurement. This is not coming from a counting. That's why you opted this. And then you find out the largest value of this data set by using a function. On the top, you see I used a function, max of this data range. I picked the max function. I got the largest value. I picked the mean function. I found the smallest value. Then I find out the range. Range means how much is the range? Who will say how we can find out the range? Range equal to highest value minus lowest value. So we got the range, that is 24. And because the data set is a small 20. So how many class we have to decide? We have to pick 5 or 10? 5 class. So we have to find out the class interval, and class interval is how much? 20. How we can find out the class interval? Range 24 divided by number of class, that is 5. So you got 4.8. Am I clear? So 4.8 means approximately I took 5. Then I made a frequency distribution table pertaining to this particular data set. So what you see here, here is the frequency distribution table that you can see with a yellow box. I'm showing you with a green box. This green box is a frequency distribution table where you have already learned 146, 151, and this box is ready. Here is the upper limit. We have already counted the frequency. I used a function, frequency function. By using this, this function you have to learn, all of you. If you are not able to understand how to use the frequency function for counting the frequency of a data set in Excel, you write a mail to me. Basically, after writing this frequency function, what you have to do is pick up the range. Then you have to pick up the upper limit and press Control, Alt, and Enter button time and again, and you will get the frequency. I have also given you to find out the relative frequency. How we can find out the relative frequency? You can easily know that I have to divide frequency and divide it by 20. we got the 0.05 is the relative frequency, and this frequency we can carry on continuously fix. So 20 will not change. So $L and $13 if I will make it. If I will make it $13 and then I will drag it, then you can get the relative frequency. You got it. Then you can multiply this with 100, relative frequency multiplied by 100, you can get it the percentage. 5% is the contribution of class 1 in this, means 5% of the fruity pack is having a weight between 146 and 151, whereas you are claiming that the packet is having 160 ml. So like that, you can get this data, calculate frequency distribution, relative frequency, and the percentage frequency, and then how we can visualize it. Because this is a frequency distribution. What are the various way of visualizing it? Any one of you can tell me how we can visualize it? What are the various way of visualizing the frequency numerical data? What are the 3 ways are there?
Histogram, frequency polygon,
and OGIF.
OGIF chart.
OGIF chart is because we have till now we have not calculated the cumulative frequency. In this case, in the bottom case, you see here in the bottom one, here I have in the same chart, here I have calculated less than cumulative and more than cumulative. So here we can plot the OGIF, but in the first table one where you have the class frequency distribution, relative frequency and percent frequency is there. Here we cannot plot the OGIF. Here we can plot only histogram and frequency polygon. Yes, so you have the option. You can pick up and plot a frequency polygon. And how we can plot the histogram? Let us try to see here. You can insert, and here is the option of histogram. You can pick up, and you see here is the histogram. We have already got it. You can convert this histogram in the form of Pareto chart also. So these options are already there in your Excel, and you can opt and plot. Here you see the Pareto option is there. Pareto, where the x-axis is carrying the class, class, and y-axis on the left hand side carrying the frequency, and on the y-axis right hand side carrying the cumulative frequency, and you can represent it like this. This is a Pareto chart. Pareto chart is used in case of categorical variable, not in case of numerical variable. So if somebody will plot the Pareto chart in the case of numerical variable, absolutely you are doing wrong. It means people will understand that you are not a good business manager. That is the beauty to understand. Here you have to plot only the histogram. You see the difference between the histogram and the bar chart is histogram is having both the bars are closed. All the bars are closed, because in the numerical data, in the numerical data, most of the data are coming from the continuous variable, not from the not like a categorical one. That's why our charts, our bars have to be closed with each other. That's why we are plotting the histogram to show to visualize the nature of the in the next class, in the unit 3, we will discuss how this histogram, how as a business manager, once you are showing the histogram is like this, what type of finding and conclusion you can draw as a business manager. Yeah, that things we will explain you in the coming class. Yeah, when we will start unit 3. So unit 3, here you have concluded, we have concluded how to organize the data and how to visualize the data. That much we have concluded here. And with this, I am before closing the discussion, I am taking back to the Q&A, question and answer, which is already there on the Padlet. Thank you very much. All of you are interacting very fine. Now this is a time to do a Q&A. All of you please go to this Padlet. Link is there. All of you have opened this Padlet. Chapter 2 PPT I have already uploaded here. You can download, right? And here is the question. Please open this Padlet. Link is there with you?
No, sir, no. We don't know how to get that.
Okay, I'm sending
sir,
you
we
a
don't
link.
have.
I'm just sending you this link. And please click this link at your end.
So can we get the Excel sheet that you just used?
Yes, that Excel sheet I will upload on the Padlet. Very good question. That is also I will do it.
Thank you.
And just you click the link. Those who don't know how to open this Padlet, please click this link.
Sir, are we going to get these Excel sheets and video on our LMS system?
Yeah, no, you are going to get. I am just putting it here only. You are right now. You already got it. All the PPT you already got it in this Padlet platform. A link is there. You click it at your end.
So we can just download the Excel sheet from your Padlet link.
Yes, you will get it. You are already just now. You download it. No, just now everything is there. Just now your PPT I have already uploaded here. You see here. And now this is a time to all of you open it and do this question. The first question is, what is the first question? All of you please click it. The frequency distribution is a tabular summary of data showing the, what is this? Which one is the correct answer? Please click it here. Don't say, you click it only. And then the second question, the sum of the relative frequency of all the classes will always equal to, which one is the correct answer? Click it and submit it. Am I with you? Please do this. Please do all
Yes,
these things
sir.
and submit it.
Yes.
Once you submitted it, then come to the next important thing, what I'm going to ask you. The important thing what I'm going to ask you is, I will upload your Excel sheet just now, whatever the Excel you did it here on this Padlet. Right after 5 or 20 minutes, after 20 minutes, you will get the Excel on this Padlet. I asked you, write a reflection in 100 words. Once you complete this class, whatever you learned today, you write it in 100 words. Sometime any one of you who is not able to, okay, I am feeling relaxed, I don't want to write anything. So I have given you another option today that was not there in the day one class. Upload the reflection in the form of video clips. You can talk and don't talk more than 100 words. Think it. Means your talk have to be within 2 minutes. Finish it, talk, and upload it here. I wanted to see how many of you are doing writing or submitting the video clip, whatever you learned from the unit 2.
Sir, I just have a question.
Yes, now this is the time, any Q&A time, any questions if you have. From my side, everything is finished. This is your time. You can ask me.
I just want to know that how we will get that Excel sheet that you are using.
Pardon?
I just want to know that the Excel sheet you used to explain us. So
Yes.
you are going to upload it on the Padlet?
Yes. I will upload
So
it right now.
You will share the link on the chat?
Yes, I will upload the Padlet Excel straight away on that. You can download and install on your machine and practice it, right? Nothing is required. Like PPT I have uploaded, you downloaded it. Similarly, I will upload the Excel and you download.
I have done it.
Yes, same way you have to do it.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay, I have a question on a similar line.
Yes,
Can you hear me?
Yes, tell me.
So somebody already asked this question. Are you going to upload all this material on LMS as well, or this is the only place we need to refer for this material, study materials? Because I understand all the relevant reading and study material will be available on LMS. So that's the single source of a place that we look for all the information.
there is no end of learning. No learning, because we are living in the age where everywhere the data is available. Wherever you have you are getting an opportunity to get the data, opportunity to learn, you do it. Today we are living in the age where the decision is not based on feelings and perception. We have to take the decision on the basis of facts and analysis. That's why you are learning business analytics. My humble suggestion is, wherever you are getting, whatever you are getting, you learn it. You try to use it and be a professional business manager. Don't waste your time. Today I want to learn. Today, right now I will learn. Right. That's why I have
I
provided a
understand.
platform.
I was
Okay.
just asking
Okay.
whether
Okay.
these
Thank you.
will be available
I have given you a right answer. Follow it. Thank you. Any other question? Because
Sir,
time is limited for
lecture
us.
will be available, sir.
Yes. Yes.
Sir,
Yes.
will you upload the PPT on LMS?
It is already there. You download it right now. Padlet link I have already shared to you. Okay.
Sir, recorded lectures when will be available, sir?
Okay, I have already any questions, more questions are there. This type of administration related questions, you can write a mail to me. My email ID is there. And pertaining to the subject, this is the opportunity to ask the question pertaining to the subject instead of administrative questions. Administrative questions you can write a mail. So thank you
Sir,
very
I
much.
have a one query. Sir,
Yes.
I have a one query. So,
Tell me
like
the name
previously
of
you have mentioned, na?
yes, please tell me your name also.
Sir, Sir Tarun, previously you mentioned you have showed one chart of MRF, right? So how many people are aware of at the
Yes,
MRF brand?
side by side bar chart.
Yes, sir.
Side
So,
by
sir, my
side bar.
question is, my question is like in FMCG, there is a particular category called beverages. So,
Yes, yes.
in beverages also we can mention this chart. We can make
Yes,
this type
yes,
of charts.
yes. Various type of beverages are there, and their interests are there that you can plot with the help of side by side chart. If you have 10 type of beverages are there, 10 type of categories are there, and 10 type of side by side bar chart, you will get it. Try it. If you are not able to understand, I am always there with you through email or even my phone number. You can write on WhatsApp, talk to me on phone. Yeah, I think all of you have a phone number. Some of you are not able to interact with me. You can use phone number also, write a chat, talk with me. No issue. We are continuously interacting with each other. Thank you very much. I think time is over. Goodbye.
Sir?
Yes, please tell me. Yes, please tell me.
If we want to solve some of doubts, so can the group be prepared for all the students so that we can understand if there's any doubt along with you being present there?
Not able to understand. Once again, you speak, please. Sorry.
Can't the group be prepared along with the students and yourself so that we can understand if there's any doubts?
Yes, yes. Why not?
Okay.
Sir, please share your contact number.
One last question.
Contact number I have
Sir,
already shared. You be careful.
last
You
question.
see on the top, I have written a number also. Yes, last question. Yes.
Please share again.
The assignments that you have asked us to complete, is there a timeline to submit them?
No, that is timeline is nothing there. You have, this is all your interest. This is not an assignment, forceful assignment you have to do. This is all depends upon your choice and interest, right? If you will not do, how can I compel you? Yes.
So sir, if I'm able to create a frequency distribution chart,
yeah,
I should also be able to create OGIF chart because I can always calculate cumulative frequency.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
If you have a frequency distribution and you have already calculated the cumulative frequency, and if somebody is asking to see, your business is asking you to show the trend pertaining to the class and the cumulative frequency, you must prepare with the help of a OGIF chart. Thank you.
Right. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
I think this is so enjoy your Sunday. I think this is the last class. Till then, goodbye. We will meet you in the next.
Sir, one small help.
Yes. Yes, yes, tell me.
Prachi said, right?
Oh,
In
one
the
thing.
Excel, can you also put the formulas that you have used
Yes,
before
yes,
sharing it to
definitely.
us?
I will share you. The formula is already there. Once you will click on the cell, on the top, you will get the formula. Right?
So when the next
Great,
class?
sir. Thanks.
Next class, you will get a link. Don't worry. Okay, I will also get like you, and you will also get it.
Can we have a 1 or 2 months schedule instead of a weekly schedule?
I also like that. I will share I will share your feelings that they have to share the whole semester schedule instead of a weekly or monthly schedule. Anyway, this is a good question. I will try. I will try also. I am also thinking to have a monthly schedule, weekly semester wise schedule instead of a monthly weekly schedule. Thank you. Any other question? Shall I stop now? If you permit me.
No, sir, sir, can you share share with us the last class link?
Last? Not able to understand. Yes, please.
The Padlet link for the last class.
Padlet link for the last class is already there, no? I don't. Yes, I will share you. You write a mail to me, I will share you. My email ID is there, no? Let me check whether you are sincere. And if you are very much sincere, you will write a mail to me, I will share you. You thank to Pritam Sen, who has already shared, Jitin Singh. Thank you, Pritam and Jitin. You are helping, and this is a very good quality of helping each other. Good. So, thank you very much, and goodbye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.